Yo, what's up? I just wanted to record a video on basically like how melee should be handling this boss, especially if you're like a melee player and you're trying to do the Cursed Wasteland, right? And you're getting aggro a lot of the time. I wanted to just showcase basically like what I think was the best strat that worked for me when I was fighting this boss. Because guys, I spent like 3.5 hours in pubs, and I swear to God, bro, the players just didn't know what they were doing, and the tanks didn't know what they were doing. They weren't grabbing aggro or anything, so it made the game so hard because I feel like this boss fight is so reliant on the tank positioning himself well in this fight that it's almost impossible to beat it if your tank has no clue what he's doing and he's not getting aggro or anything, and you know what I mean. It's really hard to play, and that's the reason why I feel like this game is just I mean, this dungeon is just so hard because like I feel like people don't know what they're doing, and then people panic and then all that stuff. So I wanted to just basically do like a run through or walkthrough of basically how I did this dungeon with this group of players. I mean, this group of players, they were good, but basically the way that I was tanking this boss is what I saw in another video. But I feel like there's so many videos out there and they don't really like talk about how melees need to do it. So I wanted to make a basically like a melee guide on this. I'm not a tank, but the tank that I was with in here, they weren't grabbing aggro very well, so I kept grabbing the aggro, and because of that, I was basically the tank. So yeah, let's watch this game and let's see what happened. I'm gonna mute the audio because I was tilted when I was doing this, but so basically we start off. So I'm taking the boss, right? And note to self, there's only 5 of us. We're not even a full group of 6 here. So I'm just tanking him, just pretty normal stuff. You know what I mean? This is just pretty standard stuff. So then I want to know here. So when he does this purple icon, right? And I think it's based off of how close you are. That's what people were saying. So he marks you based on how close you are, and because we're melee, there's a very high chance he's gonna mark me, right? So basically, what ended up happening is my idea is this, okay? When you are the one that's targeted with this, right? You go on the far end. You wait on the far end here, right? Because you have to wait it takes him like 8 seconds or something. It takes him a couple seconds. I just guess 8. That's what I've read online, that it was 8 seconds. You wait a couple seconds, and then he's gonna kind of like get like this purple aura, and then that's when you run. But so basically, the idea is you get the purple mark, you stand here, you stand around this edge here, right? And then you want to be close to the boss so you don't have to run like so far, right? And basically, once he gets his purple aura and he starts charging the beam, his breath, you run all the way over here, right? So you'll have like someone over here. So I think I have someone over here. They're gonna open the gate, but they need to time the gate. They need to wait a couple seconds and then open the gate so I can run through. And then there needs to be another person that's gonna open the gate over here so that the rest of the DPS and heals can run over here as I tank the boss in this section. Does it make sense? So then you'll see how we do it. So I wait here, and then once he turns purple like that, I run all the way over here, right? You just gotta memorize the position you're in, and you just stand there. You stand your ground. And the reason why this is important is because this guy does a lot of AoE damage, right? And so we don't want to get our teammates hit by that. And then obviously that purple circle we want to get out of. He'll also like turn red, and he's gonna put this red mark. It's like, it looks exactly the same as the purple one, but it's gonna be a red mark, and whoever gets that mark needs to run all the way to the back, because it's basically gonna make like this big AoE thing that's gonna pull you in and do like 5-6k damage to you. It's really dangerous. So that's why whoever gets marked with that red mark, they need to run back. So you see how this guy's running? You see how this guy ran all the way back over here? You're gonna see this big AoE here, and everyone needs to stay away from that. And then obviously the purple stuff, the purple circle he puts on the floor, you just dodge that. You just run out of the way. And then look, you see how I do it again? Just like that, simple like that. I think people are making this boss fight seem more complicated than what it really is. I think this boss fight is actually super simple. It took me a while, but that's only because my teammates were not listening to me, and they didn't want to follow my calls on this, because I was pretty sure this was the way to do it. Because originally the guy was just saying, my original tank was just saying, oh yeah, you get aggro, you just open the gate yourself and you just run around here. I was like, no, that's not the way how you do it. There's no way. It's so bad. And every time they did it, they died. So you see how I'm tanking over here, right? I kind of feeling, I'm like, okay, he's probably going to do it soon, so I need to position myself. So that's why I position myself more over here. Try not to get hit by this. You can also do dash. So you see how I wait? You see how I'm waiting here? So he's not going to do it right away. right? So we're waiting for his aura, for him to turn completely purple. And you see how this Fuzzy is waiting? You see how Fuzzy's waiting to do this? They're timing it at a good time. So you need to have someone that's going to do that for you too. And you need someone to open this side for you also. And if you also have like a dash, like how I have the charge dash here, you can actually dash through. I think you can also, there's a blink ability you can also do. You can also blink through it too. So that's also very important to note. So you'll see I'm waiting here, right? You see how Fuzzy's opening it? And so now I'm sitting here still because he hasn't started his charge yet, right? So we want the range to start from here and then end over here. It's going to end around here. Then I can have this small little pizza slice to sit here and hit him. So you see how he turns purple like this? This is what I'm talking about. So this is when you start running, right? And then you run all the way to the other side over here. Yep, just like that. And keep in mind, we're only doing this with 5 people. We're not even doing this with 6, so we're missing a DPS. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I think this dungeon actually doable with like 3 players. It's gonna be really slow, obviously, but I think this dungeon is doable with 3. For sure, it's doable with 4. I think the 3 players have to be really, really good and really geared. But I mean, this is definitely doable. For sure, this is doable. With like 4 players. I mean, we did it with 5 here. But 4 players that know what they're doing, this is for sure easily done. So you see the boss is hitting me here. And I just do the exact same thing. And then look, he doesn't do it yet, so I'm waiting. And now look, another one of my teammates is waiting over here. And then we just do the same thing. It's the same thing, repeat process like that. And then everyone just runs to the far left over here, to the safe one, and I just tank back. That's it. It's simple. It's simple. I don't think people need to make this complicated. I spent so long with this dungeon because people were leaving and instantly leaving. This dungeon is not that hard. You just got to give it a couple tries to really get it down. Okay, so once he's 30%, I forgot about this. He does mark you. There's a chance he can just randomly mark you, I think. I don't really know the full process. Basically, when he's 30%, he marks. He does the breath, and then he marks another person. But I think that one's more random. I don't know how that one really works. But generally, you sacrifice someone. So this guy's basically sacrificed his life, right? So that these guys don't die. And then we just DPS him down, and he's just going to die here. It's as simple as that. And just like that, guys, it's that simple. It's that simple. This was my first time beating this, right? And we did it with a group of 5. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like it's not that hard. It's not that hard. You just have to understand your positioning. It's just positioning based off of who has the purple mark. And as a melee player, there's a very high chance that if there's like 2 melees, there's a tank and there's you, there's a high chance that you would be the mark, and that's because this boss will knock back a lot, right? So then the tank sometimes won't grab it because guess what? You're the one that's closer. So then when that happens, you just position the way that I showed you in this video, and it's that easy. Don't make it complicated. Dodge things that are obviously like scary looking, right? That's all it is. Remember, you get the red. If you get the red mark on top of your head, you just run all the way to the back so that it doesn't hurt your teammates, right? The purple circle on the floor, that does a lot of damage. So you want to make sure you run out of that. You have like probably like a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds before it starts dealing DPS, because that one will just drain your HP. It does like 1,000 or 1,500. I can't really remember, but it does a lot of damage. This boss also hits really hard, so you have to understand that. That's why having a healer who knows what they're doing is also important here, because I think this boss fight is one of those things where as long as you have a healer who knows how to position well, and then you have a tank that knows how to position this boss fight well, this boss fight is so easy. I ended up playing with this group again, and then we beat the boss. We messed up 2 more times or that, but then on the 3rd try we beat it. Like, I'm telling you, this boss is just so simple. It just comes down to positioning and all that stuff. I forgot. The reason why we failed too was when we did the second time, with the second run through, was because for some reason I wasn't getting the aggro. Which, I mean, it makes sense because I don't have any aggro stuff. I'm just pure DPS. But for some reason, I don't really know how the boss mechanic works on the aggro. Like, maybe I'm just doing too much damage. I don't know. I was getting aggro though. I wasn't getting aggro for that part, but we ended up beating on the 3rd try. This one took us about 5 or 6 times. But it's one of those things where it's like, whoever is taking whoever has the purple marker needs to position well so that it doesn't screw everyone else over. It's based off of one person positioning well so that everyone else can transition to the next portion of the arena, so that everyone will be fine. But yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to show you guys. I just wanted to showcase this boss fight. I really think this boss fight is actually very easy. I think the Butchers is harder than this. Because the Butchers feels like it has way more teamwork. It's easier to screw up on the Butchers than this one. Like, this one's actually so easy. I don't even know why it's like 0.4% of players have this. Like I'll show you guys right now. Like, look, I just beat the Wasteland. Like, this 0.4% of players have this achievement. That's crazy, right? But yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for hanging out with me. Good luck in your Cursed Wasteland dungeons, guys. Peace.